A Lieutenant General Sibia, being instructed by the minister, executing instruction of the minister, withdrew all these dockets and they're sitting in a archive in his office in Pretoria. God knows why.
At this media briefing that was held in Durban, KwaZulu Natal has solicited strong reaction from citizens, advocacy groups, politicians, and those in the security industry. The South African Policing Union says politicians shouldn't interfere with the work of and operations of SAPS.
Politics killed policing. Over a number of years, from the time of Minister Mthethwa, there was issues between him and Riapiecha. And further to that, when Mbalula was the Minister of Police, he amended the employment regulations of 2018 to bring a provision there that for the National Commissioner to appoint senior managers, he must then make sure that there's a concurrence with the minister. So that on its own, it brings political interference into the operations of SAPS. Now we have seen with Cele that what happened, he was the National Commissioner, and General Stole ended up being sacrificed in regards to that because of the political interference of a politician. In this case, should General Masemola be the one who gets sacrificed because he's given powers in terms of the Police Act to run the day-to-day functioning of SAPS. And further to that, he is the general of SAPS and he is reporting directly to the president.
A former police officer who asked to remain anonymous for the fear of victimization told SABC News that police officers must have strong character traits to resist temptations.
My integrity has always been intact, but in the sense of it happening around you, it does affect you because your perception of things, it changes. You look at things differently. Then it depends on the type of person that you are, if you want to add value in the sense of getting rid of those things, you do that. But if you are a weak person, then you get tempted because there are so many temptations in the SAPS.
The former officer shares experiences of corruption he has encountered during his career.
The task team that I referred to earlier on, it was dealing with that because there were issues of corruption that were raised, reports that were made to say somebody who was not qualified. Eventually somebody else who was qualified was pushed out, opening the space for this person who was qualified, things like those that we were dealing with. It was a long time ago, but the tasking was about that. So basically, I'm acknowledging that those things, they did happen.
Officers say some of their colleagues resort to unhealthy coping mechanisms to deal with the stresses of their job.
Inkulu abanye nje baze mabe off hlala beyidakela bazama uqeda le stress esibhekene naso lapha. Baningi abantu sebeze bagxile utshwaleni special amaphoyisa amaningi ngoba nisuke nibabona abanye bedakwe befaka uniform kuma video la ku TikTok nakuphi the videorage abanye suke bengazenzi suke bezama uqeda stress ngokubuka kwami mina personal.
Exclusively speaking to the SABC News, the police person shared an experience in which they tried to enforce the law, but an alleged corrupted senior colleague intervened, protecting those who broke the law.
Ngelinye ilanga saye samisa truck lapha kuflowini ebusuku. Mase ngimisile le truck leli sichecka sithola ama plastic bag phakathi acolorless. Siwabuka anento engathi iy'puphu kodwa a soft one, the soft engathi like a cement, like soft bakhona. So sitshele lo muntu ukuthi yazini siye police station sifuna ukuthi sibize i-dog unit or whatever abazosicheckela ukuthi azinothi ama-drugs la because you don't even carry amaphepha wakhona wena driver. Udriver wakhona wenza i-call, mayenza i-call udriver wathola ukuthi umuntu lo amfonelayo general sibanibani loyo, mina ngicela ukumthatha nge-police station. The question was one, sawuthanda umsebenzi wakho, yabona? Okay, ifoni yange nisingena colleague kwami ukuthi sibanibani nembiza straight ngesenemi yakhe cela nihlukane naleyo truck leyo sazi ukuthi amanamba ethu wathathephi kuhambani so sagcina siyekile le truck namanje ngisayibuza ukuthi yayilayisheni kwakwenzakalani ngayo of which kwangelula mhlambe ngabe vele umsebenzi wami waphela.
A crime expert says he believes most of what Mkhwanazi said is true.
What Mkhwanazi has said, it is indeed 90% of it is true. Remember, he's speaking from the downloads of the cell phones, digital evidence that was collected by them. And some of it, there are even banking apps to that effect, whereby bank statements will reflect on those type of payments that, it is nowadays allegedly been disputed. But the facts cannot lie. The paper trail is there. The money can be followed. And I'll tell you something again. I know Vos. He's one man that even though sometimes we've got clients who needs close protection or those drop-offs of the matric dens, we used to sometimes give him business and then he will give you a profit. So I know him from that level. And I know that indeed he does use that FNB account that Mr. Mkhwanazi has highlighted. And those accounts, they will reveal more officials, even including politicians. So indeed, that's what I'm saying. 90% of what he said, it is the truth.
He says syndicates have their way to lure politicians by offering them small gifts to start with, just to eventually control them.
Any gift more than 500 that is not being declared on time, then it's corruption. So the criminals, they know that they start with small, but also they need favors. Now, the same top brass that I'm talking about that collects perfumes almost every weekend. We know the names of those people, and soon we will name them and expose them. Guess what? If those tsotis who gave them those expensive perfumes, if they are even caught in a roadblock for drinking and driving, who's on their speed dial? The very same top brass. And then those top brass, they end up now reprimanding the constables, the warrant officers, because they are at the top leadership.
The DA has laid the criminal charges against Police Minister Mkhwanazi at the Cape Town Central Police Station on Thursday. Mkhwanazi has blamed Mkhwanazi for the disbandment of the KZN Political Killings Task Team. Calvin Nhlanhla, SABC News, Johannesburg.